When I was 10 years of age, I told my father, who was a very ardent physician, not a simple physician, very ardent. So all his life academically he's excelled in everything and a dedicated doctor. He became a doctor because he lost his mother when he was 4.5 years of age to tuberculosis. So there are very touching stories how he used to go to see his mother and she would put a towel on his face and kiss him because she was afraid she will infect him. And those days there was not much treatment, so they just built a house for her on a hillock, thinking that fresh air would cure her tuberculosis, but she passed away at the age of maybe 21 or so, 21 or 22 maybe, a young woman. So at that time, she told him, it's a very rich merchant family, where naturally by the time you're 12, you're into business. So, she told him, you must become a doctor. Because she felt if some other kind of doctor had come, she would have saved her life. We don't know what turmoil she went through, who knows. So he committed that he will become a doctor, and at the age of 12, when his father tried to force him into business, he left the family, went outside, leaving a very wealthy family and studying outside on the streets, and slowly he became a doctor. So the first thing he did was, he served in the Mysore sanatorium for tuberculosis. For 3 years, he worked in the sanatorium for 50 rupees a month. So he is that kind of a doctor, totally dedicated. Later on, he served in the government, whatever. So his idea of success is, you must become a doctor. If you're not a doctor, you're no good for anything, at least when it came to his children. That is the expectation. So I didn't want to disappoint him later. So when I was 10, I told him, this is one thing that I'm not going to be.
Did you know the future of doctors even then, or?
No, so all along my father was always worried that I am not getting trained for anything specific. That after much struggle within himself, when I said no to being a doctor, he said, okay, at least take up engineering. Then I said, see, you don't know what you're talking about. If I said I don't want to be a doctor, if you told me be a veterinary doctor, be an Ayurvedic doctor, be a witch doctor, something, I would consider. But when I say no doctor, you say engineer. Yours is a social problem, you know, it's not an existential issue. So, what will you do? You're not trained for anything. I said, if I'm not trained for anything, I can do whatever I want. Why I'm saying this is not with any disregard for him, he was such a dedicated doctor, people literally worshipped him wherever he went. Well, I looked at his profession with great respect, but not with regard. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I respected it immensely because it made a huge difference for people. I saw many times with my own eyes. My mother would always complain, it doesn't matter, because we were always in those kind of stations where in the middle of the night, any time calls will come and he will just go away. Any number of times, he will be having his dinner, phone rings, he will just get up halfway and go away. My mother would beg him, just 3 minutes, just finish this and go. But he would say no, and he would just go away. And sometime he will come at 2 AM or 4 AM in the morning. When I looked at this, that was the most impressive thing for me about him, that this man is committed, you know, about whatever he's doing, I don't care what he's doing, but he's committed to what he's doing, which made me very proud of him for that kind of commitment. But at the same time, he was talking to me in terms of having… how to make a living. Become a doctor, you will make a living. I said, I don't want to make a living like that. Then they said, become an engineer, make a living. I said, I don't want to make a living like that. Then they said, at least go to business, make a living. I said, no. I said, making a living is never a concern for me. because I traveled across the country on my motorcycle when I was very young, and I lived in the jungles by myself for weeks on end, survived in the forest without any outside support. I said, I can live anywhere. I'm not asking for anything specific. I don't know what I was looking for at that time. All I knew is, I will not sit behind a table and earn a living. That much was 100% clear to me. What will I do? I didn't know. I just knew one thing, I'm here to live. Everything else here is here to live, isn't it? Why only human beings think they are here for some other purpose? Hello? All other creatures know they're here to live. It is just that for them, living means eating, sleeping, reproducing and dying, their life is complete. Once you come as a human being, you can eat as much as you want, sleep as much as you want, you can reproduce as much as you want, somehow life is not complete. This is longing for something else. If that something else doesn't happen, this feels so incomplete. So right now, the weekend people, those who live on the weekend, I mean, they're alive only because there's not enough spirit in them, they put outside spirits. I'm so loaded with spirit, I didn't need any outside infusion. Anybody who comes, do you put blood infusion into them? Only when they have lost. When they've lost blood, you do blood infusion, isn't it? So only when you have lost your spirit, you do spirit infusion. I'm fully drunk all the time, so it never occurred to me that I have to infuse something from outside. So, it doesn't matter. They need a break for some purpose, that is perfectly fine. But it's very important that you don't make this distinction, what is work and what is life. If what you're doing is not your life, please don't do it. What you're doing is life, isn't it? You're fixing somebody's bone, it must be your life. It is your life, isn't it? You spend more time with broken bones than with your family, yes or no? So, which is life? Why this is not life and that is life? This is also life, this is one dimension of life, that's another dimension of life. How to distribute time? The requirement may be different from different people. For an individual person, he may need that much break, another person needs less break. Well, every weekend if you are at home, maybe your family enjoys it. In another family, every weekend if you're home, maybe they don't want you there. We don't know what's the situation, I'm saying it varies from person to person, from situation to situation. So, it's very important that we understand that from the moment we are born till we fall dead, we're doing only life, life and life alone, nothing else but life.